Okay, so as you mentioned now over at Fireman's Field, we had exit 105 in the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes coming in 1-3, struggling offensively, defensively, and pitching. Other than that, they're doing very well. And the exit 105 and Red Hot Max Shadid and defense. I mean, they're not hitting it all either. You look at their averages; they're all in the 300. So we really Max just mowed them down in game one. What was the final score in that game? It was
6-1. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like another lackluster effort by the Hurricanes there. One run. You can't score one run in softball. Yeah. Every team does it now and then, but they're doing it a little bit too often. Their offense is not there. We said it from the beginning of the year. This team's offense is suspect, and a lot of it was going to hinge on David Gindy. You don't have to be a genius to say that. We say it about every team. Part of the Expos' success is because Mikey's pitching so well.
Right.
Part of the Hurricanes' lack of success is because David Gindy is not pitching well, and he's given up big numbers each and every week. And this is another example. Down 6-1, and then in game two he didn't even pitch due to injury.
Yeah, he came up injured, and his son Morris pitched. So this has been a big problem. Ironically, this team started off the first game of the year. You pitch a shutout.
I thought week one, it was Hurricanes versus Braves. I thought those were the two strongest teams in the league. They split the game.
They all picked them to be.
They went 1-1 against each other. Neither has beaten another team the whole year. It's amazing to me.
So now we always talk about pitching in this league, and now you have two first-round pitchers who are both 1-5, which I find amazing.
Right, but the question mark was with David Gindy, because no one has seen this guy pitch in a long time.
Well, he hasn't been in the league since 2006. It's a long time. I mean, the turnover of talent has been tenfold. It's like a lot of these guys were still in the 8th grade when the last time he pitched. So he hasn't seen a lot of these guys, and and I guess it takes a while to get back to his fastball is not what it used to be, because he was dominating at one time when he was on. I mean, he was an incredible offensive player.
Well, anyway, the big story is after they lost game one, David was injured. His son Morris pitched game two, and the other team, Exit 105, took an early lead from what I understand, 3-0, and then they came back and tied the game at 3. So now it's a 3-all game, middle of the game, maybe 5th inning. I'm guessing. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I got conflicting reports when this happened. But now David Bracca is up for Exit 105 in a tie game. Okay? I don't know why they went to 4 outfielders, but they did. Maybe this team usually does 4 outfilders. I don't know. David Bracca is a great player, but he's not someone you go to, he's not Ali, he's not Saban. You don't go 4 out. I wouldn't go 4 outfielders with David Bracca. In fact, he happens to hit the ball up the middle a lot.
Right.
But they went to 4 outfielders, so now David Bracca hits a fly ball. Okay, depending on what team you ask, it was either a rip or a routine fly ball. But 2 outfielders were right there, and right when the ball was coming down, they both stepped apart. Ball landed right in between them.
It was Richie Braha and the Leo Hanono.
Exactly. So Richie Braha really plays the infield for them, correct? So he was maybe the 4th outfielder that went out there, adds to the confusion out there, and the ball drops in, and then the wheels came off. 3 runs scored, and then that was it. Hurricanes fall to 1-5.
Right. That was. We got to talk also big game. Nathan Towle, 6 for 7, home run, triple. He looked like back in 1985. Elliot Patesh, who had a rough week last week, 0 for 7.
Wow.
Had a 5 for 7 day today. On Sunday, so they started finding the offensive game a little bit, but also and maybe the reason why they went to 4 outfielders is probably the biggest problem with this team is they have very, very limited range in the outfield, and they don't have a center fielder.
Play the tape back to before the season.
Yeah.
We all said it. Yeah. They didn't have a center fielder. You don't have a center fielder, you don't have an outfield, because you need the guy to take control of the whole outfield. You have no center fielder, it becomes a disaster. Yeah. Also, the Zolta brothers are not hitting either.
Yeah.
They're not hitting. No extra bases, no extra base hits for, I think, Nathan Zolta. He's batting 200.
Yeah.
He threw a ball over the backstop. I mean, it's a complete disaster in that outfield.
Also, they played on Fireman's West, which is considerably larger. Fireman's East, rather, which is the outfield, is considerably larger.
Right.
Maybe another reason why they went with 4 outfield.
Okay, possibly.
But again, Brack is not alley, so I don't, he's not really going to hit it.
Now, Sammy Towell will tell you before you go to the phone. Sorry, he'll tell you he has the greatest infield in history.
Yeah.
He's got DT. He's got John Eliezer. It's a phenomenal infield. He'll point out that he plays first base as well. Zvi at short center and RB at second. So they have a great infield. But balls go to the outfield also. And in my opinion, that's not a good outfield. I'm sorry. You have a bunch of left fielders out there.
No, well, the outfield is all the action's going to be. Chucky, you're on the air.
I'm here, Bob. How you doing, buddy?
We're doing well, Chucky. We sort of heard from every member of the organization today. All In is all on the phone.
I don't get you. What's that, Bob?
I said we heard from every member of the All In organization tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, we're all in. That's what said, though. We're all in.
I guess when you win 2 in a dramatic fashion, I guess everybody's pumped up to talk on the phone.
Chucky.
I've been on hold for 40 minutes. It's worse than the front desk.
For sure. You're lucky. It's not longer.
Chucky, you've been in this league for decades and decades, maybe 7 decades now. And yes, you had a small stint in the minor leagues last year, but in your career, whether it's minors or majors, have you ever seen a comeback 5-0 in the last inning like this?
Truthfully, especially from 5-0, it's not like we were slugging the ball at all. We were 20 outs into the game just about, and hitting nothing but pop-ups.
Right.
So there was 1 out, nobody on. To make matters even worse, 1 out, nobody on, 2 outs away from the shutout, and maybe we had 3 hits in the game.
Right. It's not like it was a 15-10 game that you scored 5. Right. It was 5-0 and you guys were dead.
Dead.
So Chucky,
I started to pass my bag. To tell you the truth, well, we were at number 1 in the lineup, and I'm batting 8.
Right.
I already was putting my helmet in the duffel bag, and everything but my cleats were off. Maurice Haber's wife, Esther, was sitting there, and she goes, "What are you doing? Where's your confidence?" And she really, listened to me.
Wow.
So I told I was going to tell her, wake up and smell the coffee, we're down 5-0. But as it turns out, I had to get those batting gloves back on, and the knee pads back on, and, it was crazy.
It reminds me of Keith Hernandez in '86 took his cleats off in the Met dugout and had a beer after he made the second out of that fateful inning with nobody on.
I went back in the Porta-John over there playing cards.
I noticed when I left Memorial, the Porta-John was sideways. Was that?
Sideways, right. That's the first sideways, so we can get 3 guys in there to play,
That was Sammy Sutton when he tilted when he made his 8th error of the day. Chucky, talk to us about Jack Bawabe. How did he look overall? Did he have any stuff?
Jackie Bawabe, is one of the best attitudes, though.
Oh, for sure.
Of any player you want to play with. I'll be honest with you. I've never played with him before.
He dropped the ball.
He's smiling from year to year. Eating the sunflower seeds or visit whatever he eats. But whether he's in the game, whether he's pitching, whether he's DHing, he's into, he's not sitting on the bench.
And he's not pouting, for sure.
So he hangs with people in the third base coach's, circle over there when we're up. He's focused, and he really gave us a big effort this week in both games.
Oh, so there's no starting pitcher controversy, right? I mean, he's Leo's going to get.
We're a little bit like the Jets. I'll tell you, we got 5 pitchers on the roster. Starting quarterback. We're not declaring anybody. We got Leo Jackson, we got Maurice Haber, we got Jackie Bawabe, we got myself. I think Zeke Dweck is also throwing the ball on the sideline. So, but unlike Rex Ryan and the Jets, Leo Jackson's on number 1. Everybody's on board with that. And Bawabe is a great backup to have,
Well, I don't know if you know this, but your GM was on the line trying to acquire Jeffrey Sackett earlier today. So I think Leo's probably your number 2 option.
Well, listen, you can't blame Maurice to try to get a frontline pitcher, especially in a team that's struggling. That's what good GMs do. And so I mean, he heard a dial tone as soon as he asked for it, but you got to try anyway.
You guys got to be on cloud 9 going into a bye week after a win like that.
Right.
And all right, Verizon friends and family all in, and
I got to say, I have a big kudos to the bottom of the line. I have a big hustle base hit by Jackie Haber. Questionable call maybe, but really hustled down the line to beat it out. Tremendous base who was got to be player of the week. I know you haven't posted it yet. You've been too busy with the stats. Screwing that up. But,
I don't know. We got some Expos players that are going for player of the week also, by the way.
Oh, well, what about Jason the umpire? You should get a vote for kudos.
I mean, I heard that call, you know, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do about that. That's, you know, there's not even a play on the
Nah, it's a travesty. What can you say? That doesn't belong in this game, but...
It's a sham. It's a travesty. Yeah. Or, you know, that's, you know, an umpire trying to make a name for himself and just trying to take focus away from the ball players. That's rough.
Right.
Rough.
All right, Chucky, what do you got plans for the off week? You going to spend time with the family? And
you know, I'll spend a little time with the family, as little as possible with the family, and I'll probably come down Sunday and watch a couple of 2-3 games.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Well, the Expos are on Memorial 1, the featured game, finally. We've been waiting for it.
Yeah, so we'll see the Expos, and
we played them after their bye week, so he'll be on a scouting mission.
And you know what the team's records are after the bye week?
Well, I had a bye week, and then we went 1-1 after our bye week.
Yeah. So
so there you go.
42 and 18.
We'll be watching a lot of film, and trying to get a team vacation, maybe going together, trying to stay out of the Instagram. We'll go from there. I think Maurice went to Rhode Island for a 6-day destination with a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on Sunday. There was a pre-party and a post-party and everything else like that. So, okay, but the week is going great. The weather's really breaking nice for us. You're going to have a great day Sunday. Looks like 70 degrees.
Wow.
And I do want to make mention that there is a bike tour on the Verrazano Sunday morning.
Oh, it's this week? We got to mention that.
We got to mention that. I think that the traffic department is the one that's probably all over it.
They're all over it. The entire department is working out different traffic patterns. Chucky, it's great to have you back in the league this year.
The upper lane is open and the lower one's closed.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Chucky. Thanks for calling in.
Have a great week. Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Leo, you're on the air.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Speak up, caller. Much louder.
How you doing, guys? You good?
We're doing well. We're doing well. What did we get wrong?
So basically, the ball they dropped in, that was a discrepancy between me and RB. That was game 1. That's what got them the first 3 runs. Basically, ball was in the air. I scored it. All of a sudden, I hear somebody screaming, "I got it, RB." So I let it drop. I see RB standing right beside me. He let it drop. Turns out it was center fielder called RB. You got it. So that's where the confusion was. But that was the first game. Game 2, that's really where we started playing with a chip on our shoulder. Got some runs. It was 3-0 then. Then we tied up at 3. They scored another run. That was off the Brack, a home run, which was a rip to right, total clear home run. I had a nice solo home run of my own with 2 outs off red hot max CDs. Tied it up at 4. Then they just pulled away. But we really tried to step up our head.
Leo, does your team play 4 outfielders often, or only for certain players?
I think there was 3 guys on the team that we keyed up on that we decided to play 4 outfielders for. I mean, with the exception of 1 or 2 plays, it worked. Nathan Powell's home run, we probably should have won 4 outfielders and we didn't. But it's something that Sammy likes, the team likes, and it's been working with the exception of a few plays.
But you as an outfielder, do you like having 4 outfielders, or do you prefer to leave it at 3 unless there's a top 2 or 3 players in the league are up, or are you cool going to 4?
Right, that's the thing. You guys might know I have a fractured foot right now and I still play outfield. But when I'm able to play center, I know I'm able to cover more ground. But when we have other people on second and right, now we're more worried about covering more ground, and we figure with 4 outfielders we can do that better. So the team like 4 outfielders, I'm going to say, who am I to say no?
If your foot was, if you were healthy, you'd be the center fielder on this team?
Not to take away from the Zoltas, but yes.
Okay, so maybe this is what Sammy was thinking at the draft, because he really didn't have a center fielder, but Leo's saying he's the center fielder if he's healthy.
I've been playing center field for Hillel for a few years now. I feel like I know what I'm doing. I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't think it was best for the team. I'm not calling anybody out. Sam even approached me about it. I said, look, I got to get healthy first. So it's definitely a possibility, but we got to figure ourselves out real soon.
Well, Hillel is single A to the majors, but
yeah, of course.
How's your clubhouse with your pitching situation? It seems David Gindy was a first-round pick. I mean, that's a serious pick. You could have anyone in the league in the first round, and you guys took David Gindy. it doesn't seem like he's performing.
Look, his pitching, until he got injured, his pitching is definitely there. It's really just the defense not backing him up. He's pitching really low. He's, like you said, not there like it was 5 years ago, but he still got it. And it's just the defense not backing him up. When he went down the second game, though, before the second game, Mars, his son, really stepped it up. He pitched a 10 for 6 runs in his first outing. It wasn't bad at all. But David, I don't know, like the rest of the team, you just got to start hitting more.
And your defense also. Your defense got to step up, and there's just got a lot. A lot of guys are just having off years, and it's.
You know what? But their infield sounds very solid. It sounds like it's the outfield. It sounds like balls are dropping and throws are going over the backstop. And
well, there's no ground coverage in the outfield. Also, I mean, there's a lot of the conservative fielders. There's the gaps. Anything in the gap is falling in. So hopefully you guys could get on track. You're playing the 1-5 Pirates this week. They seem confident they could sweep you, but it's up in the air. Both you guys could benefit from getting a sweep. So, Leo, good luck, and hopefully you recover from your injury.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you for the call, Leo.
Good night. So,
all right, so I apologize. I mixed up game 1 and game 2. Thank you for calling in. But that's interesting that maybe if he was healthy, he'd be the center fielder.
Yeah, he is the center fielder on Hillel. So, listen, at this point, 1-5, what do you got to lose? You might as well try him. Okay, so now we got to go to the matchup, which we didn't even elaborate on in Meadowbrook.
Right.
Which was 2 great games between the White Sox and Hustle with Ike Mavora. There's a couple of interesting games here.
With
also.
Red Nessa, you mean?
Well, Red Nessa in game 2.
Right.
But
well, in game 1, it sounds like it looks like a very high-scoring game. It was White Sox 10, Hustle 6.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Ike Mavora was not pitching that well. He was, didn't have his greatest stuff in the world.
Well, I got to clarify. I was there for a few innings, and his defense definitely let him down. I mean, routine plays, grounded a third, Solly threw it over the second baseman's head. Jack Jamal dropped a routine force out at second. Albert Levy dropped a fly ball right. I mean, there must have been just routine plays that were being. There's a couple of shots. I got to tell you, Steven Safdie.
Yeah.
Hit 2 monster home runs, dead center to Meadowbrook 2 over JT's head.
Wow.
Another one in the gap, and then he almost had a third one. He ended up getting a triple out of it, 6 RBIs.
He can hit, Steven. I played with him a couple of years. This guy can flat out hit the ball.
He's a 4th round, and how many teams wish they had taken him because they can use his offense.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? JT had a big day, a big week this week.
By the way, JT had a little bit of a rough year last year, and JT is hitting the cover off the ball this year.
Yeah.
I believe he's 11 for 15. So I know people will tell you stats don't matter, and there's errors, and there's this and that. When you're 11 for 15, you're doing something right,
Yeah.
And I believe that's what his stats are offhand. JT's whole lineup is hitting. They put up a big number.
Yeah, listen, I got to be honest. 733 is hitting. Didn't think too much of his team. I don't know if you were too high on him before the year started. I didn't think
I was not.
But they look at their lineup now. It's very, very strong. I mean, they're getting Sam Harari's continued to have a very good sophomore year. David Harari, who's always been a hitting machine.
Right, David Harari had another rough day in the field though this week. He missed a routine fly ball, but he's hitting. They're all hitting. The lineup 1 through 10. You talk to anyone on their team, they're very, very confident with their lineup.
Yeah.
Of course, you have Saban, you have JT, and it's a very long lineup. You have a very deep and long lineup. The hits just keep on coming. They put Irv at the end, number 10, to wrap it around. They had some speed. It's just a very long, strong lineup. And then on the mound, of course, they have Ralph.
Yeah, and Ralph had a cleanup hitter, in another.
He's hitting great this year, but the thing with Ralph is he has too many walks this year. He's walking too many guys. From what I understand, he's trying to strike out too many people instead of letting them put the ball in play and trust the field,
Well, that's been a big theme in the league this year, and we're trying to find out why. The walks have been just unbelievable numbers if you look at it. I mean, Leo had great control his whole career, gave up 12 walks last week.
I couldn't believe that number, that he gave up 12 walks.
Yeah.
Of course, Charles Saka pitched for the
12
Bears
himself
a couple
in one
weeks
game,
ago.
and they
Yeah.
gave up 16 on the day. And the Bawabe again this week giving up walks. I mean, it's there's been seems like a lot of games. It's 6, 7, 8 walks.
Yeah.
Which is,
Mikey Shalom this week, 2 games, 2 walks. Should have been 1. Sam Harari looked at Sam Mishon looked at a 3-2 pitch right over the plate.
Oh.
That he stood there like a statue and
Yeah.
got a walk. I think he had a little bit of a smile when he was jogging to first base.
Who made that call? Jason?
That was Jason. Yeah, Jason missed the call. No, it wasn't Jason. It was the other guy. But the catchers and umpires talked throughout the game, and he did say, "I owe you one." You know, there was.
Yeah,
a
I'll make it up to you in the 7th inning when there's a sacrifice.
This was after the fact stuff. He made it up to them. If you want to look at it that way.
Exactly. So now the second game, Mavora got rocked in the first inning of the second game
To the
for
2 to 5 runs. Yeah.
and took himself out. I believe he had a hand injury or something to that effect, and went to left field.
Right.
And lo and behold, Robert Rednesser comes in with a 5-0 deficit and manages to steal a victory for Hustle, 10-8.
Well, the White Sox, understandably, or not so understandably, thought the game was over.
Yeah.
It's 5-0. Red comes in.
Yeah.
3-0 counts. They're swinging away. Mavora's playing right field.
Right.
Red is pitching. They're just taking it lightly, very quietly. 1 run scores, another 2-run score, another 2-run score. All of a sudden, you're losing the game when you blink your eyes.
They were saying Red was not even reaching the plate in the first inning. He couldn't even reach the plate. Got his rhythm back, I guess, and so I guess it's a good crutch to have if you have Red that could come in for 2-3 innings. I mean, it's the second week in a row he's pitched 3 innings. So
I think this week you saw a crazy 5-0 comeback in the last inning. You saw a 4-1 comeback in our game, and you have to understand that when you get a lead, the game is not over in softball. The White Sox let a game get out of their hands. Now watch that one game. This game was over. They were up 5-0.
See, we're not talking about this because it was the first inning 5-0.
Right.
It's still
a comeback, and it's because the White Sox didn't stay tough on them. They didn't keep their foot on the gas, and they let a game get away. Now all year, that's a game that they let get away, and all year they have 1 less win because of that.
Yeah,
and we don't play 162 games. We play 16 games. Every game is important. You can't do that.
Right. So so Hustle's they're gonna, to me, they're gonna be one of these teams that are just gonna be splitting every week. That they're not nothing spectacular, but they're not bad where they're gonna get blown out. I just and now if Steven Safdie continues to hit the way he is, and
Avi
and Leo starts picking up. He had a good week this week. Avi Dweck and Soli's always going to hit.
Zach Ashkenazi they have.
Zach Ashkenazi still hasn't been hitting.
And Mavora they have. They have a lot of they have a lot of strong guys. They have a strong lineup. They should be hitting a little bit better than they are. And Mavora is their pitcher.
Exactly. So
a lot of people told us when we made a trade with Sammy before the draft to get the first pick, and we took Ali. A lot of people said you should have taken Mavora. He's a pitcher and he's a crazy hitter. A lot of people around the league were saying that. So this team should not be splitting every week. They should be sweeping some weeks, in my opinion.
Now, interesting. Now you mentioned that trade. Now we look back on it. Had Sammy kept that pick, I don't think he would have taken David Gindy with that pick. He probably would have taken Ali, and he might have had a whole different team.
Whole different team.
So
we basically traded Ali for David Gindy, which is insane.
So.
But everyone was shocked that he took David Gindy where he took him, and not Jeffrey Sack over there.
Or a position player with Henry Shalom or Mo Shama.
Exactly.
There. So but
you're right. So, it all adds up from the first pick all the way to the last game.
So now let's start looking at next week's. Let's start looking at next week's matchups.
Very good matchups, and we. Let's start with the featured game.
The classic game, which is actually going to be at Memorial 2.
Right.
Because, let's go Memorial 1. We have the 3-1 Expos versus the 3-3 Hustle. And you guys coming in with a sweep. As you mentioned, Hustle splitting. I see another split here. I think, like I said, I think Hustle is just going to be one of those teams that are going to be hard to sweep every week. And and the Expos coming with a sweep. But now you got to also, you've been mentioning to us. You spoke to the trainer today. What's the status with Mikey Shalom?
Well, Mikey Shalom is day to day. He has a pulled groin, and he injured his groin in the first game that we had, and since then we've been 3-0, and he's pitching through a lot of pain. It's very evident. He can't bat at all. He can't run. He can't cover first base on the ground or so. A lot of people are trying to bunt, make him field his position a little bit more. So it's rough, but he may have to skip a week at some point. He may skip this week, or he may play through it. We are meeting with our trainers religiously, and we're going to make that determination as we go. But Mikey's a gamer, and this week he should be player of the week. He pitched tremendously. Got overshadowed with all the nonsense. But
right. And so what is the backup plan if he can't go this week?
The backup plan is, every captain will understand this. When a pitcher goes down, everyone on their team says they could pitch. We'll probably go within. We're not sure who we'd go to yet.
Well, I know David Richte's pitching the league in the past.
Yeah, David Richte, we could definitely let David Richte pitch and let Ralph Shearer play first. That's probably what we would do, but we'll see. I think Mikey's going to pitch, but we'll see.
So we'll play that.
Keep an eye on that, though, as the year goes on.
Now, as we mentioned, a big, so we say, obviously, you think you're going to win 2, but...
I hope so.
The huge matchup over at Memorial 2, which is the 4-0 Bad News Bears coming off a bye week.
Yeah.
Versus Exit 105, and coming in 5-1 with a 5-game winning streak. That was an interesting matchup because Bad News Bears averaging 12 runs a game, and Exit 105 giving up about two runs a game. So something's going to give over here. This is going to be a very interesting test. I mean, now we don't know how Nemi's going to fare. If it's Nemi, Charles Sacco, what the situation is over here. Right now, 105 is just rolling along. Max Shadid at the top of his game. And I see it continuing. I don't know about a sweep because I think the offense is much too strong. The Bad News Bears to shut down completely. I see a split here also.
So you're predicting the Bad News Bears will get a loss this week?
Yes.
Bold.
Yeah. Well, listen. I mean, I don't think 105 plays unbelievable defense, great pitching. So I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome that. And again, we got this Nemi situation. Needs to be watched.
It's a situation, definitely.
I don't think they're going to be in a 14-12 game with Exit 105. So.
Okay, Bad News Bears. Here's your newspaper clipping. I think Exit 105 sweeps them this week. I don't like their pitching situation at all, and I think good defense and good pitching will always beat good hitting. They're not going to score 14 runs on this team unless Max Udid really implodes.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. I think Bad News Bears are a very good team, but I don't like the matchup when they're facing a good pitcher and a good defense.
Right.
So I like Exit 105 here.
I mean, I don't. Even though the Bears are 4-0, if I was Morris Gaston, I'd seriously looking into the trade before, like whether it's a Jackie Bawabe or I mean, with their
I would not be surprised. He has to make a trade.
With their offense, a guy like Bawabe would thrive in that situation.
Their offense is too good to blow it by not having any pitcher there. They're going with Nemi and they're going with Charles Sacco. Neither of them has ever pitched a game in this league before this year. You get somebody, even if it's Moses at full time or something. We
mentioned Moses is on the roster, but who knows how many weeks away he's till he's ready. So
they got to make a deal for somebody. Maybe Morris Gindi. There's got to be somebody on the team that they could get a backup pitcher for.
I think Bawabe is a perfect candidate for that. He's all he needs is a defense behind him, and it'll be interesting to see if Morris makes a decision on there. I agree with you that team. I just can't see them. Especially come playoff time with no pitching. So now we go to Fireman's East, which this game might be moved to Colt Field very shortly.
Wait till you get to the next game.
That was that. Which one? Oh no, I thought that was the next game.
No. This is Braves versus White Sox.
Oh no, that's a Fireman's West. Yeah, that's a Fireman's West. Is the Braves and the White Sox. This is a great matchup also, I'll tell you. I don't know, I have a feel for this. I think the Braves are definitely going to rebound somewhat, and with a victory. Do we see a sweep? I don't know. I'll tell you, their lineup, unless somebody starts hitting on that team, I just don't know, where it's going to come
That's the thing. Jeffrey Saka is really pitching well. Their lineup, it's really up to the Cohens. AD and Irwin have to hit consistently, back to back. Base hits. You don't have to hit the cover off the ball, but you got to get on consistently.
They have to be on. Their average is hovering around 200.
They don't have like a power hitter like a Saban in the middle of their lineup. They have Irwin, AB, Sam Mishon back to back.
Right.
They could all hit a home run, of course, but they're better off when they're all just running around the bases like crazy. Get a few runs for Jeffrey to work with, and then you get a W. I'll go.
I'm saying a split.
You're going with a split. I'm going to go with the Braves. Oh, this is tough. The White Sox offense is really good. I guess I'll go with the split. I think the White Sox win a high-scoring game, and the Braves shut them down in a 4-2 game somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't be surprised if somehow the Braves swept, found a way to win two and rebounded.
The question is, if the White Sox go crazy in the first inning and go up 6-0 in Game 1, are the Braves nailing it in for the season? And we're talking about a 1-17.
I don't think the Braves have any character on those guys. I don't think there would be, but it's And again, we're all talking about this. This is Sunday. This is, who knows if the team's roster is going to look the same coming into this.
That's true too. By the way, the Braves at the bottom of their lineup have a lot of big, slow guys in a row. I mean, I'm not looking to pick on anybody, but you can't have from 7 on out down to 10 all guys that can't get a double on a ball 500 feet away.
Well, let's not forget before we go to the next game that Jigga was actually a pinch runner for Elliot Antony in that 7th inning. So you're going from slow to slower.
Right.
The next choice was Hazen.
The next choice was Jack Hazen. So you can't have all those guys back to back.
Yeah.
It clogs up the lineup. Then Jeffrey Saka was batting. He's not the fastest guy either. I mean, it's crazy. Jeffrey Saka made a diving catch off the mound on a ball that was in foul territory a little bit. The guy ran off the mound and made a full extension diving catch.
All right.
Web gem.
Jeffrey hustling over there. So now let's go to the final matchup, which is Meadowbrook and
blackout game.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about the Verrazano traffic for this one. The 1-5 Hurricanes versus the 1-5 Pirates, and I see a sweep in this matchup.
So do I, but I think we're going in different directions here.
No, I see the Pirates sweeping you.
I see the Hurricanes
sweeping. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you think they're going to put all their problems aside and they're going to find a way to...
I do. I think the Pirates, I can't see them recovering from that loss. I'm giving you enough ammo here to say how wrong I am. I know you all love doing that. I can't see them recovering. I can't. I like the Hurricanes to win too.
Well, it's going to be, listen, you look at it, David Gindley versus Meyer, but again, we're having who knows if they're going to clean house the Hurricanes before Sunday's game. They're having major issues all over the place. I think the Pirates are going to find a way to sweep this week. They've been coming close. A heartbreak loss here. Hopefully, full roster. Everybody back. Richter starts hitting. Jordy. I think they're going to rebound and get back into the playoff race. But
I know All In has a bye, right? All In has a bye this week. Besides for that, you have it's like a playoff matchup. Yeah. The week before, the seeding matchup, you have the top 2 teams, Bad News Bears and Exit 105. Then you have the Expos and Hustle. Then you have the Braves and the White Sox, Hurricanes and Pirates. It's almost like the last week before the playoffs matchups, the seeding without All In there. It's every game should be tight this week.
Yeah. The problem is with this, whichever team, if any team of these 1-5 teams gets swept, it's probably a good shot they're not going to make the playoffs. But hopefully they get a split instead to keep themselves alive.
They're all a sweep away from being done and a sweep away from being right in the thick of things.
So you have the top teams playing each other, so they can basically make a little distance for themselves. So it's going to be another exciting week. Cinco de Mayo and
wow.
And
Cinco de Mayo. We got to watch Carlos. Make sure he gets to the field.
So that should be very interesting. And the Expos coming off a high 3-1, right? Also in the obviously trying to get a bye in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, Expo fever is sweeping the nation, but we have
two nations.
Two nations. That's right. I was talking about Canada only, but it's reaching down into America also. We're also a sweep away from being in the middle of the pack at 3-3, or a sweep away from being 5-1. Every week is huge. You never know. But we are excited to represent Canada on Memorial One featured game.
Yeah, it should be another standing room only crowd.
Yes.
By the way, I want to remind everybody for extra security at Memorial Fields to lock your car doors. And
was there another incident this week? Or no?
Yes, a major.
Are you serious?
Major. That's another thing we didn't even touch upon.
What happened now? What? More stealing from cars? Are you serious?
Well, yeah, very serious. There was a lady walking two dogs who was apparently breaking into cars, and 5 cop cars came. And
a sting operation, the YMSL FBI division.
5 cop cars came, and they couldn't prove it. So if anybody did lose anything or had anything taken from the car, or even if they went into your car, you got to call the Eatontown police and file a claim report, because it's the only way they can put this lady away.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So once again, lock all your doors, close the sunroof if it's open, and take all your possessions. And that's it for tonight. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And have a good week and another great week down the tubes. And
jam-packed show. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.